Get in there, Lewis. Beautiful work, mate. Excellent drive there.
Okay. This is my team, baby.
I'd like to say a big thanks to everyone in this team. What you've done the past couple of years is just remarkable, and I'm just so grateful for your hard work this year. Congratulations.
I'm gonna drive as Jensen because I like Jensen better than I like Juan Manuel Carrera. I don't hate him. I like Jensen. I needed to move my. I need to move my wheel a little bit. It's in a bit of an awkward. There we go. That's more like it. My first race was a fluke. Finished way higher than I should have as a brand new team.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend.
Maybe I should lower the difficulty a little bit because I'm using a wheel, and I'm not as fast with the wheel as I am with a controller.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Shanghai International Circuit, then, is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience. And the flats, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Hamilton. Sainz, Russell, Lawson, and Alex Albon. Hulkenberg, Doohan, Ollie Behrman, and Correa. Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Lance Stroll, and Isaac Hadjar. Bortoletto, Antonelli, Button, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
All right, let's do
And
this.
alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'll give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Well, Ant, we love this 11th team on the grid. They've certainly made an impact since they came into the sport. But without one person at the helm, I don't think we'd have seen what we've seen so far. Their team principal really is a character.
And you need these characters in Formula One, Croft. You need them as a driver. You want to have full trust in the person leading your team forward, that your feelings inside the car and about the team are going to be relayed and understood in the right way and positive changes made.
Back of the grid, not great, I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order.
That's what I call understeer. That's what you call understeer right there.
Okay, DRS is now available. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. Tyre condition still looking good.
I'm gonna stop hitting flashback. Starting now, I'm gonna stop hitting flashback. If I make an error, I have to live with it.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 0.9 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.0 seconds.
You can really feel the tracks now. Like it's insane. You feel every bump.
The pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Not bad.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and, of course, the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. Welcome along to Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen, where it's Chinese Grand Prix weekend. But before we can race, we need to qualify. And who's going to take that coveted pole position? How will our grid line up? We're about to find out.
Let's do
Welcome
this.
to qualifying.
Where's...
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn
What
engine
the
off
hell?
and wait
Where's
for
my force
marshals.
feedback? There it is. Holy shit. Rain sucks.
It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of the thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. It played host to Formula One's 1000th Grand Prix back in 2019. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri and Ocon, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton and Alex Albon, Lawson, Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto and Tsunoda, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Pierre Gasly, and Jack Doohan. Correa, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Jenson Button rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
This is not going to be an easy race from this position, but just give it your best shot.
I keep forgetting to turn on the formation laps because and the pit stop. That's actually, yes. We're gonna do that. Ah, well, worth a shot.
The Chinese Grand Prix, then, is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles per hour with DRS assistance down the back straight before the cars break into the tight hairpin at turn 14. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Ocon. Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, and Alex Albon. Lawson, Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Tsunoda. Stroll, Hulkenberg, Pierre Gasly, and Jack Doohan. Correa, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Jenson Button. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Okay, back of the grid. It's not great, but let's make the most of it. Good luck.
All right. Let's do this. Hey, mechanics. Let's see how we do, huh? Strong start. Qualifying was in the wet, so that wasn't helpful. Oh, no!
Okay, we can take you this lap. There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Understood, copy that.
This is just gonna be an attempt. No, turn! This is gonna be an attempt to get points at this point. This is gonna be we're gonna really try to scrape as many points as we can. Our chances weren't very high because we were starting dead last essentially already. Oh man. Oh God. No! Oh, this is going awful. Oh, this is terrible.
Okay, you have a lot of front wing damage. Box for a new one.
This was a terrible, terrible run. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Yes, I think I have, haven't I? Alright, let's see how many points we can scrape back.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
The only thing that can save us is a safety car. Or a red flag. That's it. Now it's time to use up all of my talent.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
So how have you been? Good. I've been doing alright. I'm a little bit tired. I went to the gym yesterday. Knocked out some, little bit of cardio. Oh my gosh, I am so far behind.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
It's gonna be a long race. Speed! Really love the changes that they've made to this game. Like, they haven't done much, but they've done, like, so much changes to, like, the way the tracks feel. Like, you can really feel every bump. Yes, I am.
Okay, gap to the car in front.
I'm using a Logitech G29. It's an older wheel, but hey, it's a good wheel. And I got it for a steal. A friend of mine was upgrading to a Thrustmaster, and he was like, "Hey, do you want this wheel?" I barely used it. I'm like, "Sure, how much?" And he sold it to me for $100, which was awesome. Yeah, it's great. It was in great condition. He barely used it at all. Yeah, it did. He actually did sell me. He also threw in the stick as well. I haven't used that yet. I mean, I used it once when I was playing Gran Turismo, and that was a nightmare because I don't know how to drive stick. But the problem with Gran Turismo is they have either automatic or manual. I mean, you could use